For me, growth is super, like really important. Growth produces happiness. And if we're not growing, we're either dead or we're dying. If our relationship is not growing, it's either dead or it's dying. If our business is not growing, it's either dead or it's dying. So growth is really important. So that's what that's what my purpose is in life now. For myself, of course, to master my life and then help other people win in every area. So I'm going to share some things with you that I have learned. And I have taught high performers in government, arts and entertainment, education, business, family, and religion. And it works if you work it, right? Just like anything. It only works if you do it, right? It's not really learned until you live it out. So I'm going to give you a lot of really good things. So get ready to take notes. Get ready to take notes. You're going to be taking a lot of notes. I'm going to be sharing like some things that you're like, oh man, that was really good. And I don't want you to forget it. And there's going to be some things that you're like, there's no way I'm going to forget that. That was just too good. And then all of a sudden, you know how it goes. You walk away and you're like, oh no, what did they say? And you miss it. So I don't want you to do that. So get ready to take notes, all right? So here we go. Let's start off by doing this one simple exercise that will change your life. You ready for that? Okay, it's really, really, really easy. And this is why people don't do it, because a lot of times things that are common sense are not really common practice. And the things that are easy, we kind of like, we don't give it so much power because it's just too easy, right, Richard? So here is the powerful thing right here. You ready? I wish I could see all your faces. Right now, I want to see a few because this exercise means a big smile. I want to see your big smile. Give me a big smile right now. We're going to hold it for 15 seconds, okay? Just hold for 15 seconds. I know, I'm going to count. You ready? Give me your best smile. Come on. Okay, hold it. 1, 2. Come on, keep it going. 3, 4. Look at all these beautiful people. Come on. 7. Come on. 8. Bigger. 9. Hold it. 10, 11. Watch what's going to start happening to you. 12, 13, 14, 15. Give yourself a hand. Now your face is like, oh man, I never held a smile so long. Now this is a proven fact that when you hold a smile for 15 seconds, you actually generate genuine happiness from within. Come on, check that out. Do you guys want to be more happy? You want more happiness in your life? Then it's really easy. Just change your face. Just change your face. But Richard, I grew up where I just didn't really smile a lot. I'm not a person that really, I don't really smile a lot. Well, you need to change that and get over it. Come on, guys, because it does so much in the 3 most important areas of your life, which we're going to be talking about today. Your smile helps your health, your wealth, and your relationships. Come on, so we got to use it, right? Why are we going to have such a powerful tool and not use it for our success? Health, wealth, and relationships. Your smile will make you better. Your health, it generates a stronger immune system for you. It generates happiness. Come on, that's going to be better for you. It's going to be better for your relationships because you're more attractive with a smile. You're more approachable. It's going to be better in your business because your smile, it creates more trust. You're more approachable. It helps you with your clients, helps you to be a better leader with your team. Just a smile. Now, I know for me, because of my background, I come from brokenness. I didn't have anything to smile about. Okay, I had more things to cry about. So my muscles, my facial muscles didn't develop. Like growing up, I did not smile. Not only that, but where I grew up in a very bad area. Okay, so there was a lot of drugs and gangs, and I grew up in a very bad area. So when you walk around in that kind of area, you learn to not put a happy face because you want to protect yourself. You want to put on a face like you don't want to mess with me. And it's really because I'm scared inside. So I want to put this outside thing to like, I'm really scared, but I'm going to put this face on so that I can keep a distance so I can feel safe. These are defense mechanisms that I learned to create, and we all do this. Because of things that we have in our past, we develop these defense mechanisms so those things don't happen again, but those things limit our progression. Now, a smile, simple thing that I want to encourage you guys to do that's going to better you in the 3 most important areas of our lives, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. Our health, our wealth, and our relationships. So I'm going to share my screen right here. I'm going to get into my presentation. Here it is. Can you guys see that? Okay. Yes. So the 3 most important areas of your life. So again, for me, I'm all about progression. Like, it's not about perfection. So it's not about being perfect and having everything in order and like, okay, I need to get my balance. And because I see so many of my clients that I work with, they're high performers. They stress themselves out so much about this thing called balance. And they don't really know what that really looks like, but they go for it. and they don't really understand what it really means. So it's like they have this target, but they never hit it. So it's kind of frustrating. So when you're a high performer, you're not going to get this balance, okay? I want you to see this, because when you're, let me see if you resonate with this, because I'm all in. I put myself in all in when I do things. I over deliver. I put all that I am into all that I do. So when it's about my kids, I'm all in, right? And because of that, I'm so focused, I'm performing, I'm producing. Because of that, of course, everything else is not on my mind because I'm all in here. So if you spend too much time there, of course, you're going to get off balance because you're not giving other things the love that it needs, right? So don't beat yourself up because you're so dedicated and so determined when you're focusing on something. It's just you being able to get out of that and refocus. And refocus and refocus and refocus to put your energy on all these things. So I want to show you how to do that to where you don't burn out. Because that's, for me, this is like a big part of why I do what I do with high performers. People who have big dreams, big things, and they take full responsibility for their lives and want to do something better for their future and their family. You know, those people like you. So for me, there's something that really, really bothers me, and I'm screaming against it. And this is what it is. I see all these really, really good people, good hearts. They're working hard for their families, for their future. They have amazing goals, like really good people. And they're working hard. They're grinding. They're out there. They're not being lazy. They are doing what they need to do. But this is the thing. By the time they finish grinding all day, they go home and they give the people that they love the most important people in their lives, their leftover low quality energy. Oh, okay, hon, just give daddy or give mommy some space, or, for me, I'm not okay with that. I think we are better. I think we need to learn how to get our lives and create our energy, our health in a way to where we don't go home and give our people that we love the most our leftover energy. Do you guys agree with this? So for me, this was what I'm helping people with. Like, hey, no, we can do this. You can go home to where you have high quality energy. See, for me, I'm running 10 different businesses. Okay. I'm married. I have kids. We have 5 kids with my wife and myself, from ages, 27 all the way to 11. So I have a lot of things going on. So I understand putting in the work. Okay. But at the same time, when I come home late, I have a lot of energy to where I'm playing chess with the kids. I'm going out for a bike ride. I'm not because I'm trying or because I know I should be doing this and dragging. No, I'm dragging them. Because of the lifestyle that I've created, because of the habits. Okay, that's what I want to share with you, and these are very practical things that you guys can do. So let's start with wealth. Who wants more wealth? Who wants more? This is money talk. Okay, money talk. So I don't have a lot of time to go over all these things because I have full-on programs for each of these areas, right? But I want to give you some things that you can start to work on right now. Because look, if you guys, for an example, if you guys do the math, if you guys want to make $1 million a year, okay, what is it? Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. I help my clients do this, but a lot of times they have those limiting beliefs because of, like a broken past like this. Like, who am I to create that? Like, no way. So first you have to get over those things, of course, but you have to get like a target, a clear target. Like, how would I create that? What does that even look like to make $1 million a year? Like, how? Okay, let's do the math. Then you start to do the math here and you can see like, okay, if I make $2,739.75 a day, then I can start to do this, right? Well, what can I start to do to create that? Whether it's through your career or through a career and a side hustle or through a business. There's so many different ways to create wealth. And that's what I want to talk to you. There's 3 ways I want to talk to you right now about creating wealth for yourself. You can be really good at just one of them and create success for yourself. And of course, we all have our own definition of what success is, right? It doesn't mean it has to be $1 million a year. It's just you have to be happy. It has to be able to cover your expenses to give you that lifestyle that you and your family want, to where you have that freedom. See, for me, financial freedom is working because you want to, not because you have to. And for me, that's what I help my clients to get. Like, it doesn't mean it has to be a certain amount, but according to your lifestyle, let's get you to the place to where you're working because you want to. That's a really, really amazing place to be. Now, there's 3 areas I want you to think about when it comes to creating wealth, okay? Number one, personal production. I'm going to explain all these after. Number 2 is the production of others. And number 3, your money making you money. Number 1, personal production. Number 2, the production of others. And number 3, your money makes you money. 3 areas where we can start to develop and learn and master to create financial freedom for ourselves. Now, number 1. Are you guys enjoying this so far? Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. All right. I see you guys looking down in focus. So that means you guys are taking notes. Yes. Okay. Number 1, personal production. So this is you. You guys know this, like, as leaders, like level number 1 is self-leadership. Like, you got to produce yourself. You know, especially like if you have a high-performing team, if they are outperforming you, you start to lose a lot of influence there. So you got to produce yourself, right? Personal production. So this is you making money off of what you do yourself, with your time, with your energy, with your creativity, like what you produce, your results. This is creating income, whether it's through your career, like working for somebody, or working for yourself. Doesn't matter. This is you producing off of your own work. Yes. Now, let's just kind of settle on that one a little bit. What can you be doing better in your career or your business where you can start to, do better in your area for you to produce more and more consistently? I know a lot of times when I'm dealing with entrepreneurs, business owners, a lot of times they don't really have a really clear system and policies and procedures of how things need to be going. So they're just focused on doing the business work. And because of that, they can't scale. Or I see people in their careers. They've been in their career for a while and, for years, and they're kind of like stuck. They're not going anywhere else. And they're not really positioning themselves for, promotion or to bring more value, to become a partner. They're not really positioning themselves. For an example, I just had a client yesterday, and they're like, I've been in this company, and I have this high performing group coaching program, so where we get into their stuff, right? And they ask me, and I give them real answers for their things. So one of them was like, Richard, I'm in this career. I like what I'm doing, but I need to make more money. And there is a manager above me. We're not really getting along that much. She's not really there. I'm kind of doing everything myself. And then there's one above him, but I don't want to, step on anybody's toes. And I'm like, are you going to just, learn to live with this? It's like, 2 years later, 3 years later, and then you start to make a change. So we really need to get clear on what we want here. So this is what I told them. I said, look, if you want that position, I want you to start to already like do that. Like, don't wait to get that position and title and that pay for you to start doing the work. If you see a need and you see something that's needed in your department and where you're working, and you can fulfill that need without messing up your primary task and duties, then do it. Bring value. Make yourself so valuable to that department, to that company, to the point where they're not going to want to lose you and they're going to pay you more. You have to make yourself valuable. Don't wait to well, that's not my job, Richard, and I don't have that title, so I'm not going to do it. And this, if they pay me for it, and then I'll do it. Wrong attitude. You will not win with that attitude. You go produce before. Now all of a sudden, they're like, man, Richard's already doing that supervisor job. Like, he's already doing it. So it's a really easy transition just to give him the job and promotion. Makes it easy for us. We don't have to train them and explain things. They're already doing it. That's how you need to think. You see, employers, business owners are looking for people who are taking initiative, that they don't have to babysit, and that are looking to make and save money. Those are the 2 most important things for a business. Make yourself more valuable by making or saving the business money. Not only that, when there is a hen that lays an egg, you know what it does? It goes, like it celebrates. It's like, look what I did, right? So I want you to learn how to do that as well. When you are producing, I want you to be able to celebrate those things. Don't hide it, because then you won't get credit for it. The value that you're bringing won't be seen. And it's not about you walking around hey, did you see what I did? Woo, that was me. It's not about that. It's not having this prideful, thing, but it's about being, hey, celebrating it. Look at what we got. Ringing the bell. This is what I got. So the team is seeing that you are producing personal production. You guys following? Now, there's some simple things that, as leaders, we need to be consistent in when it comes to personal production, like you showing up on time, you showing up with a good energy and attitude, being intentional with what you're bringing into what you're doing. Like, you have to bring it. Don't just bring low quality energy and low quality value. Bring energy and value in everything that you're doing. So making sure that you produce high levels and be consistent. So if you're in sales, whatever you're doing, you're producing, you're hitting your goals, you're making higher goals, you're producing. Yes. So that's number one. Now, number two, production of others. So again, if you're in your career or you have a business, either way, it's you building a team to where now you're making money off of their efforts. Yes, not just yours. That's a normal business, style, even in a department. Like, that's why you hire and recruit, right? You pay them a certain amount, you get them to produce more, where you make a margin off of them. Now we're talking about scaling a business. So this is how you start to make money. So a lot of times, like for me, I have a financial firm. And I have some people who are in their careers already, and they're doing well, but they're like, well, I'm not going to just, start all over again. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm like, okay, well then you can start something on the side where you're making money off of other people's production of what they're doing. So I start to help them establish a little side hustle where they train a team. At first it takes the time and effort because it's more than what you're doing, right? Like, it's more. But once you develop that machine, you develop that team, you train your team, you're leading them. You're not just producing yourself, but now you're leading them to produce. Now we're talking about scaling and making some more money. The better you get at leadership, the better you get at training them, the better you position them, encourage them, equip them. You better you follow up with them, your team, the better you measure them and correct them. All these things, all of a sudden they're producing at higher levels and more income is coming, right? Now we're talking. Now, the third way, okay, I'm getting money from my production. I'm getting money from the production of others. Now I have this money. I need to get this money to work for me too. See, most people they put their money in a safe. Look at me when I do this. Safe place, which is where I'm going to put it in my bank, right? I'm going to put it in my bank, my savings account, because I'm saving. I'm a good steward of my money. I'm saving. And then, what happens? You guys go and put your money in the savings, and then you know what the bank does? They call me and my firm, and we take your money and we put it into these accounts that have a higher interest rate, and then they make money off of your money. When you can just learn how to become your own bank. You can learn how to invest your money right. See, there's different accounts that if you learn that you can, like for an example, there's something called an index universal account. And this has to do with life insurance, and there's an account attached to it to where you don't get taxed. And you get a percentage of at least 7 to 8%. And then when you start thinking of the rule of 72, you know what the rule of 72 is? The rule of 72 in money, write this down. 72 divided by the interest rate will tell you how many years it takes to double your money. For an example, if the bank, this is not true, and they don't do this because they give you 0.008%. So let's say they were really, really nice, right? They're in a good mood, and they call you, and they're like, hey, how you doing, Brenda? Hey, Lisa. Hey, Charlie. I'm feeling in a good mood today. I'm just really excited about this, but because I have a special, I want to give you 1%. You're like, wow, what? Thank you. Wow, 1%. Imagine that. So if you get 72 divided by 1%, what is it? It's 72, right? So that would take 72 years to double. So if I had $10,000 in my account at 1%, it would take me 72 years to get that to 20,000. You get that? Does that sound like a good deal? 10 years or like 72 years. How old would you be if you were like 29 years old? You add 72 years and you're just going to be able to retire with that money? No, it's not going to work, right? So all of a sudden, when you put it into accounts that have a higher interest rate, there is something called this rule of 72 where it starts to compound. Man, the money, like after 5, 7, 8 years, those things that are doubling, it comes out to a whole lot of money, and it's not taxable. This is how the rich get richer. Okay, but people don't know about these accounts, and of course it's legal. It's not illegal. These are legal accounts, but people don't know. So you have to educate yourself in how money works, what the money rules are. For an example, last night I was with my kids here, and they have this game, right? They like to play their games. So they had this, it's like a fighting game. I don't even know what it is, right? So they're like, do you want to play? I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how to play. I don't know the rules, right? I'm like, tell me how to play. And they, I'm just pushing buttons, right? I'm just pushing buttons, and I'm thinking the faster I push them, the better I'm doing, but it's not true. I'm just pushing buttons and just making noise, and I'm not doing anything, and they're just taking their time, and they're just beating me up. Why? Because I don't know the rules. I don't know how to play. So many people are getting beat up in the world because they don't know the rules of the money game. There's very simple things that you guys can learn, right? Different how tax works, different types of investments, the fixed, the variable, the index. There's different, like real simple things that you can at least educate yourself so it's not so confusing, because with confusion, you're never going to act. When it's complex, you're never going to execute, right? So build wealth through yourself, personal production, getting production of others, and get your money to make you money. 3 ways. When you start to get those things going, now you're starting to create some financial freedom. Okay. Now that's the foundation of you getting to make some money. You guys like that? 3 ways. Okay. All right. So let's get into your health. Now I'm going to talk about 7 things here. 7 things. Very practical things. And the last one ties into our last topic, which is relationships. Okay. So number 1, water. I'm going to tell you some very practical things when it comes to your health. I deal with high performers that are doing a lot. They're doing a lot. So in order to do a lot for a long period of time and not burn out and have like this good energy and to bring it and to enjoy it, like you have to have health. Man, health is so important. Like this is foundational. I tell people, like, it's so important. Don't make health your goal. Health should be your lifestyle that it helps you to achieve all your goals. Like it's so key. Like this is our body, our temple, our vehicle. We only get one. We only get one, right? And so we need to take care of our bodies because it generates a good energy. When we have good high quality energy, we have a high quality life. Our energy, our health determines the quality of our life. Think about it. Like if you have a little light headache, just a little light headache, how does that impact your performance in your relationships, in your business? You can't be so aware and so present when there's that little tiny headache there. Something so simple, right? So we really need to take care of our health. This is our body. This is how we're operating. We want to be able to live longevity and not go to the end of our life where we're just hurting and suffering. We want to take care of our bodies, okay? So water is foundational. So men should be drinking at least 3 liters. Women should be drinking at least 2 liters. Now, there's another way to measure. You can take your weight in pounds, cut it in half, and make it into ounces. And that says how many ounces you should be drinking. Now, if it's hot and you're active, then drink more. It's very, very simple, but people don't do it. Especially in America, like 70 to 80% are always dehydrated. Our bodies are made up mostly of water, and we're setting ourselves up for failure. We're leaving money on the table. We're leaving a better relationship on the table when we're not drinking enough water. So simple, but common sense, not always common practice. Simple thing, carry water with you. If you have it, you drink it. Another thing, don't get stuck on, but Richard, what kind of water do I drink? There's this kind, there's this kind, there's that kind, and people say something about this and that. There's machines, and there's the kind from the top of the mountain. And here, let's make it real simple. This is the kind that you need to drink. Ready? Write this down. The wet kind. The wet kind. So just drink water. That's the point, right? So water, sunshine. Sunshine is very practical, very important. Most people are vitamin D deficient. Come on. I had clients come to me and they're like struggling with things, right? And they're like depressed, they're unhealthy. And a lot of times it's just because they are vitamin D deficient. I tell them to go take walks in the sunshine, drinking their water, do it for a month, and they get mad at me. Richard, you don't understand. I'm like depressed and I'm going to the doctor and they want to put me in. I'm like, I know. I get it. Do it. You already went through all those things, right? Didn't help, right? That's why you came to me. Yes, okay, yeah. And then they do it and all of a sudden depression, all this stuff is gone. Come on. A lot of times we're dealing with symptoms instead of the root. We're dealing with the headache, the diabetes, the cancer, the tumor. Those are all symptoms of something else. Okay, look, I want you to get this real quick. Your body is made out of tubes. Tubes. My intestines are tubes. All my circulatory system are tubes. Everything's tubes. You guys see that? So when sickness comes, it's because a tube is clogged. And that's from plaque. So there's one thing that creates 99% of sickness and disease, and it's called plaque. And that comes from toxins and deficiency. Toxins is putting into your body what doesn't belong there, and deficiency is not putting in your body what does belong there. When your body starts to be in an unhealthy environment and toxic for a long period of time, it starts to create that plaque. It starts to create blockages in places. Now all of a sudden you have pain, you have diabetes, there's strokes, there's all these things that happen because of that. Now our body wants to, God created our body to be healthy and function. So when there's an offense, when there's something unhealthy, when there's a plaque somewhere, our body tells us. It tells you, right? Like that's where the headache comes from. That's where like all of a sudden you feel like, oh, I feel like throwing up. That's the body wanting to vent the tubes. Prevention, venting the tubes. So instead of going and taking like some medicine to make you not nauseous, get your finger and get it out. Your body is rejecting it. Right? It's very practical stuff. And then if you don't, what happens? Your body will take it out another way. It goes, instead of out this way, it goes down the other way, right? Now diarrhea comes. Then we don't want to have diarrhea, and then we go take more medicine and it stops it again. We're not helping our bodies. Our body is getting rid of it on purpose. Venting the tubes. Support your body. Okay, the medicine is just stopping the signal, and it's just adding more toxins to the body. Okay? Then what happens if you don't do it? The body, it'll start to come out another way, right? It starts to come up into your lungs, to all the plaque starts to work into where your lungs so it can come out of your face. Now you're blowing it out, coughing it out. It's your body venting it. But then what do? We go get some cold medicine, some medicine here, and we start to block it again. And then it gets more. It starts to come out of your skin. We have acne, rashes, all these things, these blisters, psoriasis, all these things come out because the body is pushing it out of the skin now to protect you. Support your body. And then we put steroid cream and chemical wash and no. Come on now. Take care of our bodies. Okay? So hell, your water, your sunshine, fresh air. Fresh air is really important. I deal with a lot of, executives, right? They're always inside their car, inside their office, and inside their car, then inside their home. All dead recycled air. Roll down your windows for a little bit. Get re-energized. Let it circulate. When the air moves through the environment 3 meters, it cleanses and re-energizes itself. And then you take it into your body and boom, it cleanses and re-energizes you. So even if it's rain, even if it's hot, get some circulation for 20, 30 minutes and then close it back up. If it's in your car, roll it right up, roll it back up real quick. Simple stuff, guys, come on. Sunshine, exercise is another one. Right? Ooh, that's a bad word. Sorry. Exercise. I know. I'm sorry. Exercise. I know it's a bad word. But we got to do something to be active. It doesn't mean you have to go and be a bodybuilder. It doesn't mean you have to go and compete. But you need to be active. Stop making excuses. Oh, it's because Richard. It's because, my knee or something. Figure out something that you can do. Go swim. Go do the elliptical. Do something you can do, because when you don't move, whatever's not moving, it's either starting to be dead or dying. You have to stay active. Okay, do something for your cardio, get your heart rate up, get a little sweat. Really, really important for your energy, for your health, for your confidence, for your longevity, for your success, right? That's what we're talking about. These are simple success formulas to help you to win in every area of your life. This is your health. You guys following? Simple stuff, right? How about your food? Your diet. Oh, that's another one. Your food and your mood are connected. Your food is your fuel. You've heard it said, you are what you eat. Well, if you eat a bunch of crap, you're going to feel like crap. You're going to start to look like crap. You're going to start to treat other people like crap. Your life becomes crap. We have to honor, like every time you're putting something into your mouth, whether it's a drink or food, like it's an offering. It's an offering. Like it's that holy. It's that important. Like into this temple. It's something. It's going to impact me. It's going to like impact who I am and the quality of who I am and what I do. So I need to be more conscious of that. So water, sunshine, fresh air. exercise, right? Then our food. Get a lot of fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts. Don't eat a lot of meats. These are heavy things for your body. It's hard for your body to digest. And when it's hard for your body to digest, it creates more acid. And sickness and disease is created. It's born in acidic environments. Yes? You following? Now the last two in the health. One is passion. Passion is really important for your health as well. If you're not doing things that you're passionate about, it doesn't help you to stay alive and excited. It's not healthy. Passion. Do things that you're passionate about. Put it into your calendar. Create time for it. It's not about wasting all your time doing it, but hey, if it's doing something that's having impact, hey, that passion can be purpose. Because look at, when you spell passion, Passion, pass I on. When I pass who I am onto other people through my passions, that passion becomes my purpose. Now it's more fulfilling, more energizing, more satisfying. Woo! Now you're having big impact in the world because you're doing something that you love to do that makes you come alive, but now you're using it to impact others. Like for me, I'm an artist. I like to draw and paint. I love it. I come alive when I do it. So I do it and I get people to buy it and I put it into my fundraisers. I use it to impact for purpose. Or I'm a dancer. I used to professionally dance. So now I use dancing. I go get into like the youth community, and I get them off, like I get them to do something they like. You know, instead of being out in the streets, I use it as a vehicle to connect with them and then teach them. Right? So figure out what you like, your passion, and do it on purpose to impact others. And now you're going to be more fulfilling. That's really healthy for you. Now, the last thing when it comes to these 7 principles of health, because that was 6. The last one is tied to our last topic here. The last one for your health is relationships. That's really important for you too, for your health. I mean, I get clients that are like, I can give them all the broccoli and all the water and all the exercise, but it's not going to fix their broken relationship or, their divorce issue. It's not going to fix that, right? So relationships are key. For me, I believe relationships will determine the quality of our lives. All the most important areas that we have, everything that we do in our lives is all based around people. Yes or no? It's all based upon and around people. It's all revolving around people. So come on, if we're going to win, we have to become masters in building connection with people, and building relationships with people, and building trust with people, and making them feel understood. Everything is based around relationship. So if you start to raise the quality of your relationships, you will raise the quality of your life, period. Now, how do I do that? How do I raise the quality of my relationships? Well, this is done through your ability to communicate. This is done through your ability to make them feel understood. Now, look at, this is the power, guys. Woo, I'm getting the chills right here. This is the power. If you learn how to do this, you make you a better parent, a better leader, a better salesperson. It'll make you better in your conflict resolution, negotiator. This will make you better in everything, okay? The power comes in when you make them feel understood. Not when you understand them. There's a big difference between you understanding them and them actually feeling understood by you. That is the power. For an example, if I'm fighting with my wife, I know I want to win. I'm competitive. Whether it's with my wife or my kids or a client or I want to win. I'm very competitive. But I understand what is winning. Okay? How I win. If I'm fighting with my wife, if I make her feel understood first, I'm going to win. You get that? In a negotiation, I do this all the time. If I make them feel understood first, I'm going to win. How can you make them feel understood? How? You see, I want you to understand this, that people, they trust themselves the most. They feel most understood by themselves the most. And they feel safest around themselves the most. Would you agree? Do you trust yourself the most? Most of the time? Right? If we think about that, let's think about that. That's a truest truth. Like, people feel safest around, they trust themselves the most. If that is true, how can I use that understanding to better connect and build relationship? Look, people's favorite topic is themselves. So when you are starting to make it about you and what you think, what you feel, what you believe, how you think it should be, how you think it should go, you're going to lose them. So the first step is to draw out what's inside of them. Prove that you understand them first. How? So this is really easy. You ready? So practice this, okay? It's called the gift of interruption. And it's only a gift when you make it about them. If you interrupt them and make it about you, tell your story about what you think, then that's just annoying. It's not a gift. So it goes like this. You're in conversation and they're sharing something with you. And usually I try to, like, I'm very intentional, okay? I'm paying attention to their expressions, their body language, how they're standing, how they're breathing, micro expressions in their eyebrows. Like, I'm really paying attention to people. And if you're going to be a good listener, you have to learn how to do that, where you churn the noise of self down, all the way down, just churn self off, because it's not about you. And whenever you make it about you, that's where things get, there's miscommunication. Just all about them, where they feel like they're the only person in the world. Like, it's really focusing all on them. Another thing that I do to better understand and understand people and see what they're saying, I see what they're saying. I actually see what they're saying. Like when they're saying words, I'm seeing pictures and images. And this helps me to remember. This helps me to stay engaged. This helps me to draw back things when I want to tell them what I heard them say, because I pull up images, because your brain works in images. If I say apple, your brain pulls up an image, right? Your brain works in images. So I do that to help me to focus. And then when I see them get moved emotionally, like if whatever kind of emotion, whether it's good or bad, whatever, when they're moved, that's when I give my gift. Because I know there's something powerful in there. So I'm like, hey, hold on. So let me just repeat what you just said. Or let me just make sure I just heard you right. So now I repeat and rephrase, either or. I'm going to repeat them word by word or rephrase what I heard them say, because this is going to do one of three things. One, they're going to be like, yeah, that's exactly what I said. And then I say, okay, keep telling me. Boom, I just proved without a doubt that I understood them. And they know that I understood them too. Very fast, right? That's so powerful right there. It's so simple but powerful. Or I can say, hold on, you just said this. They can be like, that's not what I said, Richard. I said this. So now that prevents miscommunication, but then I reapply it. So I'm like, oh, that's what you said. So you this, and this. Yeah, now you got it. Okay, perfect. Keep going. Again, I just proved that I understood them, and I just prevented miscommunication. You know how many problems, fights, things that you can prevent by giving them the gift? Right? Or there's another thing that could happen. You can say, wait, hold on. This is what you said, right? And then they could be like, I did say that, but that's not what I meant. Why the heck did I say that? No. This is what I meant. Come on, you guys have seen this happen. Right? But if we don't give the gift, if we're not aware and use this, there's going to be a lot of issues that are created. And you guys have experienced that already. So, but this is so powerful. Now they know that you understand them. You see, a lot of times, even in fights, a lot of our fights is because I just want you to get like my point. I just want you to understand me, right? Like that's the desperation. That's why the defenses are. That's why all the weapons come out. So if you turn your noise down and they feel like, oh, you're not even trying to like prove or fight, like you're really just trying to understand me. And even though they're like giving you attitude and, saying things, and you're not even triggered by that, right? You're just like, man, these are symptoms. I can see beyond this. I know you're just hurting. So I'm going to make you feel understood, and I'm going to win. Right? You see the difference here? It's a whole different perspective and mindset in how you're dealing with people. So when you're dealing with people, again, they feel safest around themselves the most. So look, I want you to do this. This is one question I want you to ask yourself every time you come up to an interaction with somebody. And if you ask yourself this one question, it will make you a master in relationships. Because look, you guys heard of mindset, right? Like how important your mindset is, like how important your thinking is, like you are what you think, transformed by your mind. Like you've heard these teachings, I'm sure. So if thinking is so important, if our thinking, our mindset will determine so much, then we need to better our thinking. Yes, would you guys agree? If thinking is so important, we need to better our thinking. Now, what is thinking though? How do we better that? This is what thinking is. Okay, I'm really good at making things complex. Very simple. It's my gift. Look, when you're dealing with people, the people are very complex. And we don't want it to be complex. We want to make it very simple. So I want you to ask this one question. is this person introverted or extroverted? Why is this so important? Because look, your mind, it's thinking. So what is thinking? Your thinking is you asking yourself a question and then you answering it. That's what thinking is. You ask yourself a question and then you answer your own question. That's what thinking is. So in order to better your thinking, you need to better the questions you're asking yourself. You see that? So now, if I want to better my relationships, let me ask this one question every time I come up to him. If I'm going to see my kid right now, if I'm going to see my son or my daughter, I have twins, a boy and a girl, 16, total opposites. They're not the same, right? So one's introverted, one's extroverted. So, or with clients, anyone, I ask the question, is this person introverted or extroverted? What does that do to my brain? Because I asked the question, all of a sudden my brain's like, it starts to look. And you guys can identify if somebody's extroverted or introverted, right? I'm sure you guys can if you paid attention, but most of the time you don't. Now, why would you want to do this? Richard, come on, why would I want to do this and, think about somebody's personality? Because I told you, people feel safest around themselves the most. They trust themselves the most. So if they're introverted and you're extroverted, right? And you don't ask the question and you're extroverted, so you're outward, right? You're like, hey, Brenda, how are you? And if she's introverted, she's going to be like, oh, like that's a lot of energy, a lot of noise. Why are you drawing so much attention? Why are you yelling? You're drawing a lot of attention to us and I don't like that. It's uncomfortable, right? Or the other way around. Let's say we have Sandy. Sandy's more extroverted. She's more outward and I'm more shy and inward, right? And I go to her like, hey, Sandy, how are you? How was your day? She's like, good, and for me, if I keep my energy, she's gonna be like, man, this Richard's boring. Like, he's a good guy, but he's boring. I don't really want to hang around with him that much. We're not gonna really connect at the same level. So people feel safest around themselves the most. So I want to mirror and match them, especially in the very beginning of our conversation. It doesn't mean changing who I am, and it doesn't mean it's manipulation. Because it can be used for manipulation, but it's all about the intention of heart. If you use it for wrong ways and manipulation, you'll bring chaos and destruction into your life. So I suggest you don't do that. But when you have a good heart to make them feel understood, to connect with them, it'll help you to win. If you ask the question, are they introverted or extroverted? Your brain will start to identify. Now you mirror and match. Mirror means body language, match means energy. So you match, you mirror them. Like if they're more expressive and you're normally not, get over it and start to be more expressive. If normally you're really expressive and they're more calm right now, then bring it down a little bit. Just to get on the same wavelength, because again, they feel comfortable around themselves the most. They trust themselves the most. So all of a sudden, if you start to mirror and match them, they're like, wow, Richard's pretty cool. Because I kind of remind them of themselves, right? He's easy to talk to. We're kind of the same. Okay. I can put my defenses down. I feel safe. All of a sudden, now you have a deeper, stronger connection there because of the environment and space that you just created because you asked this one question, are they introverted or extroverted? You guys following? Very simple, powerful things that will create immediate results. 3 of the most important areas of your lives, guys. 3 of the most important areas: your health, your wealth, and your relationship.